Hello and welcome to the W Mason Coach Report with head women's lacrosse coach Shannon Smith. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Coach, a one-on-one week last week defeated Quinnipiac, and then you dropped a game to nationally ranked Johns Hopkins. Just recap the week that was.
Yeah, it was really nice to get a win after our Maryland loss against Quinnipiac. We saw a lot of different goal scorers, which was really great. Ariana Esposito really stepped up for us on offense and had a few goals for us. Jenna Budd, you saw her have a few goals for us. So it was really nice to get a couple of different scoring weapons on the offensive side of the field. And Maddie Fields, again, put another great game together for us in the cage. And then unfortunately we dropped a tough one to Johns Hopkins. They're a really great team, a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the field, very tough defensively. I thought we played really well defensively. I think we struggled a little bit in the second half just because we were not able to capitalize and score on the offensive side of the field, so they were getting more and more possessions. Maddie Fields stood on her head again in the cage and had another terrific game for us in the cage. And then offensively, we were not finishing our shots. Goalkeeper had a great game, and I thought we could have shot a lot better and made some smarter decisions, but another great learning experience for us moving forward into this week, and we're really excited to get back home.
The Quinnipiac game, you kind of mentioned it already, but led by Alyssa Perella, who obviously 8 draw controls, 2 goals, 4 assists. But like you mentioned, it was kind of a lot of other people just helping get that win. You mentioned Ariana, Maddie, Katie. What's really developed in those, especially the 2 freshmen, Katie and Ariana, lately that's allowed them to be successful?
Yeah, you kind of forget that they're freshmen and they've only played in now 6 collegiate lacrosse games. So I think it's a lot of experience and growth in their game. They're starting to learn, get a lot more confidence, and become more aggressive on the offensive side of the field, which in return will take more pressure off of Alyssa and Alexa Matera on the offensive side of the field for us. And Drew starting to step up a little bit more and get back into her offensive flow, which is really great. And we saw that in the Quinnipiac game. And although she didn't have as many against Hopkins, she's starting to dodge better for us. So I think it's really great to see that. But like you said, Alyssa Perella had an unbelievable game and really separated the game in the second half for us against Quinnipiac, but she did a great job on the draw controls.
And then the Hopkins game, the first half was really, you guys controlled play for most of that half, up 5-3 at one point. What was going so well early on to get you that lead that kind of changed there near the end of the first half?
Yeah, honestly, our defense was playing really well, and Maddie was making a lot of saves. And we were controlling the draw, and we were having a lot of offensive possessions. We just weren't finishing, and I think that was a big problem for us. We weren't finishing, and a couple of turnovers. And then we had that 5-3 lead, and we let the score get away from us in the last 4 to 5 minutes of the first half. We lost a lot of big draw controls, and I think that was a big momentum swing for Hopkins, especially going into the second half. And we just got to be able to settle down in those situations, come up with those big draws, and not allow those momentum swings to come. But we're learning a lot and getting better. You can see the improvements from where we first were in the beginning of the season. Is how quickly can we improve to get better.
You've mentioned her twice already. Maddie Fields, 41 saves over her last 3 games. A couple weeks ago, you actually said she needs to be more consistent in net, and really this is probably the best 3-game stretch of her career. What is she doing so well right now that's leading to these just outstanding games by her?
Yeah, Maddie, you said it perfectly. This is probably her best 3 most consistent games in her career, and we really need her to continue that. She's doing a great job for us, a lot of confidence in the cage, and the defense loves playing for Maddie. I think she's just going out there and really enjoying the game, really enjoying playing, and playing stress-free. Maddie loves to have fun. She loves to goof around with her teammates, and I think we're allowing Maddie to enjoy that and do that and be her in the cage, and she's really stepping up big for us.
To help her, how do you cut down the amount of shots she's facing, though, right now? I think Johns Hopkins had about 45 in that game.
Yeah.
How do you cut that down to make her ability to stop 15 shots and that be more of a difference maker?
So 2 things. I think one, we need to be able to capitalize on the offensive side of the field. A lot of times we're not capitalizing, so it's giving the opposing team some more offensive, they have more offensive abilities to be able to score the goal. gives them more possessions. I think the second thing, our defense is doing a really great job at forcing bad shots. So the saves that Maddie is seeing, although some of them she's standing on her head and making some unbelievable saves, there are saves that we're getting low angle shots where Maddie can make those saves for us. Our defense is doing a great job at forcing, but I think we could do a better job stepping up our hands and not allowing those shots to happen. But I think it's all going to start on the offensive side of the field and us finishing our shots.
Just one game this week, but a short turnaround to the next game the following week. Can you give us a little scouting report on Dartmouth and what do you expect on Friday night?
It's going to be a really tough game. It's a little scary. Dartmouth has been off for 2 weeks now, so they've had a lot of prep time going into this game for us. Very well coached. They have a couple of different defensive sets that you're going to see. They don't give up a lot of shots on their defensive side of the field, so we got to make sure we're capitalizing, finishing our shots. And then offensively, they have a couple of weapons. They're very strong in the midfield. They all like to dodge hard, and they're really good at cutting on the inside and finishing their shots. So we're going to have to really be able to communicate on the defensive side of the field, stop their top players, and the game's really going to come down to draw controls. We got to be able to control the draw to get more possessions on the offensive side of the field.
And then a short turnaround. You got Columbia next Tuesday, doubleheader with the men's lacrosse team. Any thoughts on that one going into with the short turnaround?
Yeah, just really excited. Our teams really love to play double headers with one another. To have the women's game first and then the men's game. Both teams are there supporting one another. We're really close with each other's coaching staffs. I haven't really looked too much into Columbia. I just really focused on Dartmouth, but I know they're fast. They're an aggressive team, and it was a really good game that we played them with last year. So let's get through Dartmouth on Friday, and then we'll worry about Columbia.
Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us on the W. Mason Coach Report with head women's lacrosse coach Shannon Smith.